Hello, book club. Happy Friday. So today's the day you get to start voting for our second ever book club book of the month. We had a great time with Stephen Manchester reading the menu for our very first month. Thank you, everybody. We're all new members here. This is still a brand new book club. So thank you, everybody that joined and has been following along and having fun, and everybody, new members that have just joined. I'm really happy to have you here for our second month, authors and readers. I've also had some feedback coming in that will help us continue on with the poll this next month. So I want to just answer some questions that have come in. So this poll, I'm going to go over all of the books that are carrying over that didn't win the first month. We're going to keep carrying all those over until they get a chance to be a book of the month. So your votes are going to help determine kind of your mood. What order do you want to read these books in? And then I'm going to add on 3 more books for this poll. After this these editions of the new ones, I don't plan on adding any more in until every book in the poll that's carrying over has gotten a chance to have their month that we've read. There is one other author that I contacted in the very beginning of setting up the book club that hasn't gotten back to me yet. So if they do happen to respond, I will follow through and add them in. Same with the 3 I'm adding in today. I contacted them when I was beginning the book club to see if they wanted to be a part of it. And I was so happy. It was a day or a couple days after posting my first poll, they ended up being able to get back to me. So I'm adding them into this second poll. I'm happy to have them. And I'm also very happy for all of the wonderful outreach that I've gotten from other authors that I've been able to welcome into our book club with you guys. I've had a bunch that are wanting to be a part of a poll. And I've had concerns from an author that is in the poll. They brought up a really good point. You know, if I keep adding every month to the poll, which is what my original plan was, carry over and continue to add. There are some authors and books that might never get chosen. And I really want to, I'm looking forward to featuring all of the books and the authors that we have in our poll. So going forward, once I've added these next 3 on in this poll, I don't plan on adding any more until it's time for a fresh, brand new poll. So we're looking, depending on how many we're adding in here, we've got about 8 months worth of reads that we'll just be voting to work through the order. And then once we've gone through everybody on this poll, then I'm going to start a fresh, brand new poll. And the good news about that is that I have about 8 authors on a waiting list right now that I've been in contact with that have contacted me. And I'm really excited. They're going to be on our brand new poll. So we've got our upcoming reads, and then we've got another 8 months at least of upcoming reads for after that I'll get to feature. So I'm really excited to see how fast we've already grown. We've got over 150 members on our Facebook group. I'm so happy to have you all. And I think we're almost at 30 subscribers on our YouTube channel. So please, keep joining, keep subscribing so you can keep up with the new videos as they're posted. That is another update from feedback I wanted to just put a reminder out for. I mentioned in another video. I have been posting this first month 1 video a day, a weekday. And going forward, to make it a little bit easier to keep up with the content, I'm going to post once a week normally. So every Monday will be my normal posting days that I will put a video out. And then if there's any other videos that I put out during the week, those will be bonus videos, maybe bonus interviews. But definitely every Monday for sure will be our video posting day with interviews, hopefully excerpts written if any authors end up reading excerpts like Stephen did. Also discussions. I'm going to continue with that and writing prompts of the book, and I will continue to keep them general just in case, I don't want any spoilers. So they'll be very general, but fun experiences from the book throughout. So if you're still trying to figure out if you want to read it or not, it kind of helps give you some information. People reading along and be like, oh yeah, that part. And anytime I would love for you guys to post either on YouTube or in the Facebook group, any discussions, questions, even responses to writing prompts that you would like to share throughout the time, along with the authors that I'm so excited to have on our waiting list And thank you for being so patient, authors, with me with the waiting list and being able to start on a poll 8 months out from now with your work on it. I'm also including them in author takeovers. So each month when we're in our transition time between one book of the month voting for the next one, will be an author takeover somewhere in that range while we're transitioning. So our very first author takeover is with TJ Logan. That's on Monday, May 3rd. She will be posting on our Facebook group page from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. And just keep an eye out for her posts. Every time she posts, she's going to do a scavenger hunt style. So you'll be able to see each post and see what the scavenger hunt task is. And you will be able to enter into some amazing giveaways. And in the process, you'll be getting to know each other, commenting, getting to know more about her work. It's going to be a really great time. I'm looking forward to her first takeover and to all the other takeovers I'm going to be able to include with some other great authors. I hope this information has answered some of the questions that I've been getting in that maybe you also had. If you do have any more questions for me or feedback, please message me or comment with those at any time. I really love being able to make this virtual book club as personalized as possible for all of us. Remember that this is a very low pressure book club. I'm not saying if you're in the club, you have to read every month. And I think that the authors appreciate the exposure. Even if there are just months that you don't get to read along, maybe your schedule, budget, even preference, you know, we have a very wide range of genres that are being included in this book club. I'm not saying we're just a fantasy or just a romance. It's a bunch of different books. So, you know, whatever you can follow along with is appreciated. Sometimes if it's just liking, maybe sharing, taking a look at what's out there. And then if you do read along each month, we definitely ask, please review after, because that's really important for the authors and for other readers that'll want to enjoy the same book that you did. First book carrying over in our poll, Earth's Angels by Beth Warsdow. Now, this is a trilogy. So this is book 1, Earth's Angels. If you want to get more information on the books carrying over, I'm not super tech savvy yet, but getting used to YouTube, I believe I'll be able to put a screen at the end of this video that you can click to go to our very first April Reads 2021 video. I read the blurbs of the books, the descriptions, and I give a little bit more information about these books. So the information I'm giving about the books carrying over now are just kind of in addition to. So we've already given some basic in the first video that you can always go back for reference. And in addition, I just want to mention, you've been probably seeing in the group, I've been sharing Beth's interviews. So as an author, she also is she interviews other authors. And she's got a great personality. She's interviewed some great authors. So when you share her interviews, it's called the Witty Writer Show that she does usually on Mondays and Thursdays. When you share her interviews, you can actually win copies most of the time. You can be entered into giveaways by the author she's interviewing of their books. So I definitely recommend, if you haven't gotten to check it out yet, she talks to some fabulous authors. She's a fabulous author. Give her show a view. I think you'll enjoy it. So this is book 1 that will be in the poll. For all of you that are very quick readers, she has, next up, you can see my bookmark sticking out of it. That's where I am in the series. So when we get to Beth's book of the month, I'm actually going to be trying to finish the rest of her series from where I am. This is the Marillions. This is book 2. Sorry for the glare. And then book 3 is Destination Unknown. I've already given a review for book 1 after I finished reading Beth's first book. And I do want to add on that for me personally, my experience, as soon as I finished book 1, I just had to know what was happening in book 2. I wished I had already had it in my hand. I didn't order book 1 and 2 together. So it ends in such a way you guys are just going to want to know what happens in book 2. So I definitely want to recommend, when Beth comes around, book 1, book 2, book 3, if you can read that fast for the month. I know I'm going to be devouring it to try and see what happens next. I loved her first book. It's very emotional, but very hopeful. I love the messages in it. And I'm looking forward to the month that she's chosen. I'm looking forward to the month all of these authors, I'll get to speak with them and we'll get to read their books. Also, I want to include with Beth, she does a lot with social media. I don't know how she keeps up with what she does. For all of I know we have aspiring authors and authors in our group. She has a Facebook group that she recently started with another author named Autumn. It's called Write Better, Author Smarter. So I definitely also recommend checking that Facebook group out if you're looking for some other author inspiration and support. All right, next up is another book carrying over in the poll from the first one to the second one. So for the description and additional information given in the beginning, if you haven't seen that yet, check out the other video, April Reads 2021 on our YouTube channel. What's Not Said, a novel by Valerie Taylor. And she's given me some additional information I'm excited to share with you. So What's Not Said is now the first book in a series. Her sequel, What's Not True, is going to publish in August. So that's something to keep an eye out for. If you follow her on her social media sites on Facebook, you'll actually be able to see the cover reveal for that one. So it looks really exciting. I love what they did with both covers, the first and her next one in the series. So I definitely recommend checking that out to see what that looks like. Both books are standalones though. So just so you know, she said, folks reading What's Not Said now say they love getting to know the characters ahead of book 2. So even though they're standalones, it's really great to have that basis of getting to know the characters here before going to the next one. So I think it'll be definitely fun to read this and then see what the characters are up to next. And then she also said, a reviewer recently said, What's Not Said was one of the best books she's read this year, and it touched her soul. That's a great review. That's great information to pass on and definitely helps other readers like me know that it's going to be very exciting to read this book. It's classified as women's fiction, but readers say What's Not Said has elements of mystery, romance, and humor all rolled into one unputdownable read, which I love that. So definitely What's Not Said carrying over. For more information, check out the other video. Looking forward to the month that's picked. And like I said, to all of them, I'm just very excited about all these. Next up, another book carrying over in our poll. We have The Exiled of Shade and Shadow by Neve Schmid and Rebecca Schmid. Their additional information I'm very excited to share with you. I'm going to pull up a screen share here. They've sent me this wonderful picture. So if you buy their book when it's their month through their Etsy site, which I will include links when their book is chosen so that you can find that easily. Through the Etsy site where it's being sold and you get a signed copy, not only is it signed, they are throwing in a free goodie bag, which has this nice bookmark, a scone recipe, and a custom tea, which I think is just fabulous. Who doesn't love tea in a book? I also want to add in additionally, if you haven't seen the post by Rebecca in our group a little further down, she was giving some more information about their book. And she wanted to make sure everyone knows this is the first book in an 8-book series. It's going to cross the genres of fantasy, steampunk, and sci-fi. They are currently slating the books to be released every 6 months, and with the second book coming out this summer. So this would be a great time to get this started and time to read their next one as it comes out. So this will be an exciting series to follow. So the next author with books carrying over in the poll is Mary R. Waldering. I'm featuring this book right now. This was in our first poll. And what Mary and I have decided is on her month, she had 2 books, Anna's Dream of Flying. And then also, I'll go ahead and screen share because when I read this one, this is going to be a digital file for me. So if you're a fast reader and you would like to read Anna's Dream of Flying for Mary's month and book 1 in her series, Children of Stone, Voices in Crystal, I definitely recommend both. I have already read Anna's Dream of Flying and enjoyed it very much. It's 35 pages, so it's not very long. It's a great introduction to her writing. And then book 1, Children of Stone, Voices in Crystal, I have not read yet, but I'm looking forward to reading that the month that we're reading her books. The mini book, Anna's Dream of Flying, is classified as an urban fantasy, YA, and MG. And then for book 1 in her series, it's historical fantasy and visionary fiction with sci-fi and paranormal. Anna's Dream of Flying is an urban fantasy with paranormal and visionary fiction as well. And also, it's good to know if you pick Voices in Crystal, the month that we get to read her book, there is a glossary and a map, plus speculative pronunciation guide in the back, which is very helpful. I know with me, I'm always worried to mispronounce things. So it's really good to know that it's there so you can see it in advance. So when you come across it reading, for me, that's very helpful that you already know what that sounds like in your head. So I love that she's included that information to know that's there. And I'm really looking forward to the month that we get to read these books by Mary. I also want to add, she did share a while back in our Facebook group. There's a video of her reading an excerpt from Voices in Crystal. And I just loved her reading voice. It's so great to listen to her read her work. She really could record her own audio book. I would love to hear that. It sounds like something she is in the works of doing too. So if you want to hear a little bit more from Voices in Crystal that she recorded and shared, check it out in our group. You should be able to find it in the topic posts from other, I believe I have it under additional videos. So definitely check that out if you're looking for more information. All right, so another one carrying over from month 1 to our poll in our second month is Balance and Retribution, book 1 by Josephine Wrightson. Josephine has been very busy. I keep up with her social media and she's been revisiting all of her books and re-editing them. And I find this really interesting. She said she's learned so much. So I'm excited to see where all of her previous and continuing books will go. This is going to be my introduction to reading a book by Josephine. So I'm looking forward to seeing more. And also Josephine wanted me to let anybody know that if on the month that her book is picked in the poll, if you cannot afford to buy it, you can contact me, you can contact Josephine, and she is willing to send an ebook copy for you, which I thought was just really great. Thank you so much for offering that, Josephine. And I know that a lot of members will appreciate hearing that you're willing to offer that. So thank you so much. Just being so excited to have everybody in our book club read your book. So our very first addition to the poll that is not carrying over from the first month, this is Secrets of the Tally by Haley Fuchs. She's a wonderful author. If you want to learn more about her, she also has her own YouTube channel. She started, well, I found her in November when she was posting information about NaNoWriMo tips. She's fantastic. She does Kickstarters when she puts out her new book. So that's something to look forward to and keep an eye out. I've already read Secrets of the Tally, book 2. I've also read Catching Epics. I again apologize for the glare. There we go. You can see it a little bit better. So when her books get chosen, I am going to be starting on A Deal for 3. This is book 3, where I'm at in the series. When Haley's month comes up, I'm going to include links to her website. If you buy through her, you get signed books. And she also has these beautiful bookmarks that match the covers, which are just gorgeous. She puts so much thought into how she wants everything printed. So that's book 3, A Deal for 3. To Wear the Cloak, has a cute little dog, which I will talk more about in a minute because she also has a book for kids too that I want to mention. And then this was her latest Kickstarter where I bought the rest of the books that are out for her series that I needed to buy to continue to read. This is Prince Avalask. This is a prequel. I just want to let you know. So when you're looking through her books, you're definitely going to want to start with The Secrets of the Tally, book 1. So that little dog I just mentioned, this is Macho and the Great Dragon Escape. So this is kind of her companion kids book that can be a standalone. It's wonderful. I've read it to Gemma and she loves it. She keeps asking for me to read it over and over again. It's got rhyme. It's wonderful. It's such a cute story. So I definitely recommend this when her month comes up, or even now, if you're looking for a great new kids book to add to your collection, I recommend it. And so does Gemma. And I did just want to let you know, oh, that's funny when I'm talking about Haley Fuchs. My cat just kind of streamed through the background here because she fosters cats. So if you do end up checking out her YouTube channel, you might see some cats in her videos as well that you check out. So I thought that was kismet there. That's funny. So when we do her month, when she's chosen in our poll, she is working on a bunch of different projects all at once right now. So she is not going to be able to do the first interview at the beginning of the month, but she will be there after we've had a chance to read her first book for the month for that end of the month interview, which we'll be looking forward to. The description for Secrets of the Tally, Book 1 reads, meet Allie. She's just woken up in an empty forest with blood on her hands and everything she's ever known wiped from her mind. In her survival-oriented world, people are hunted by vicious predators, and it quickly becomes clear that they are specifically hunting her. Allie's friends and sister have no insight as to why she's a target, and her only clue is a list of tally marks she finds tucked away, detailing how many lives she's saved and how many deaths she's caused. Judging by the amount of ink slashed across the page and the fact that nobody seems to know about it, Allie knows she used to have secrets that need to be recovered. Without knowing whom to trust, she finds herself drawn to a new stranger in the caves they call home. And even though he won't talk about his own past, he's ready to help Allie recover hers. The problem now is that Allie's instinct to survive is the only thing strong enough to bring her memories back. Flashes of her old self will only surface to save her from life-threatening danger. So if she wants to avoid living as an echo of her former self, danger is what she must seek. So now that I've also mentioned about Macho, there is actually a children's author we are adding to the poll this next month, Helen Holder. I'm very excited to have her on board for a month. She's got some fantastic kids books: Sleepover with Grandma, Terrific Tongues, David's Pretzels, I Painted a Magenta Flamingo, Glorious Gertie's Fabulous Fireworks, An Unusual Tale. What's really exciting about An Unusual Tale, which she definitely recommends as a great group read, she is working on another one with the same characters right now. So that'll be something I can't wait to first read An Unusual Tale and then see what she's got coming out next when that's available. So that's something exciting to keep in mind. Sleepover for Grandma is great because there will be kids with their own grandma stories to tell always. That goes right to your heart, right? I love that. Glorious Gertie's Fabulous Fireworks is also great if you're getting close to the 4th of July and learning fireworks have names, which I'm really excited. So for her month, because it's not a huge novel, if you're looking for some really good reads for your children, find something new. I know we love reading to kids, right? But it does get to a point where it's like, okay, I've read you this book a million times. Let's find something new. And then come back to it. And the ones we read a million times are new again. So these are some great ones I'm looking forward to. I would like to feature all of these books. I will talk about all of them. And I'll like to know the feedback if you guys end up buying one, buying all of them, what you guys think. There'll be discussions just like I do each month. And obviously our interviews, I'm looking forward to talking with Helen and learning more about her writing and what she's got in the works. I think the first book will be An Unusual Tale that I'll touch on for discussion topics and writing prompts and all the fun stuff that I've been doing with the adult novels. So last but not least in our poll is Finny. And I do apologize. I just thought of it this very moment. M. Lay Morhaime. I should have checked with you first to make sure I pronounce your name right. Like I said earlier, I'm always scared to mispronounce a name. So let me know if your name is pronounced Lee or Lay, and I apologize for not asking in advance. just noticing now as I'm recording the video. But I am super excited for this read. Right before starting the book club, I had just started reading this. So I'm just a little ways in and I've stopped until it becomes our book of the month voted in. So I'm really excited to be able to speak and meet you and read about your book, have an interview with you. It's definitely, I can already share, it has a fantastic beginning that pulled me right in. So I can't wait until I get to read more of this book. So the description on Amazon for this book reads, Finley was an artist, was being the operative word. She'd always been surrounded by art until she couldn't be anymore. But when a tragedy left her empty and heartbroken, she found Ian's class. She planned to refresh, ease back into her painting. Her relationship with Ian changed that as he remained a constant through her turbulent life, becoming her best friend. Ian taught her the difference between the unfinished canvas and the artist that quits, helping her heal enough for her to possibly open her heart to someone new. I just want to add in a correction because I just realized, I think I said we have 8 authors on our waiting list right now for once we get through everybody on our current poll. But we actually do have 10. 8's been stuck in my head for a little while. So while I'm thinking of it, I also did want to add in about Shade and Shadow. Rebecca and Neve, I did notice after recording my first video that you have pronunciations in your book as well. So thinking back, I hope I did pronounce the characters' names when I read your book description before. I hope I pronounced those correctly. So keep me posted if I didn't in that first video. And from now on, I will be able to say those properly as we go forward. So I wanted to add that in. All of these books are so exciting. I can't wait to see what you guys voted next. And whatever doesn't get voted in next, don't worry. They will carry on over until they get voted in. So I'm really excited for this weekend to come in on Monday and announce the winner for book 2, book club book of the month 2.